A lady 20 years ago had decided that the community in Reading that were homeless needed to have a place to be fed and to have a bath and a shower. So that she started Cerdic with a group of churches in Reading. The Women's Centre started 2 years later. I was told by one of the men in our church that two organisations were thinking of coming together because they needed a manager to manage both sites because finances were low. And he said to me, I believe this is from God, that you'll be the manager of these two centres. It's very basic, and they come in the morning at 10 o'clock, and you can come in and have your breakfast, and then you can put your name down to have a bath and showers. During that time we hope to find you some clean clothes to put on. If you're homeless for any length of time, you know, everything starts to deteriorate. So we aim really to help people, with the help of others, quite quickly to get established again. Our outreach worker, Richard, he would try and find them little jobs, and if you really want to, you can volunteer and work here. And what it does is it actually gives you some kind of structure to your day. And again, that we will talk to the guests that come in and try and find the different ways of filling their day and making life a bit more meaningful. We're trying to enrich people's lives. What we're trying to do is to help people to move on from where they're at, not to be stuck in a rut. But you know, if you can teach someone that they're capable of doing something that they didn't realise they were, then all of a sudden it's like a light being switched on, isn't it? And the Women's Centre is the women are really staunch believers in Jesus, so there's a lot of faith in the Women's Centre. So there's a lot of encouragement and huge kindness to people. The church values it very much because obviously that would be our call to the poor. Most Christians would believe that that is their call, and the church supports it. Some people come here because they just can't work. They're just not employable. They've got mental health problems, but they do come here and they find friends and they find hope really here, and then they come for that reason as much as they come for food or clothes. We have a few on drugs, and we have few that are on alcohol. The alcohol tends to be with the older ones, but we have women that come in. I mean, we have some of the girls who work on the street at night come in, have a bath and find some clean clothes. There are some of them that really do start to shine, but there was one man in particular, his name was Jack, and he was very, very ill, and he ended up in hospital in London and had a huge heart operation. And then it was heartbreaking, because Jack came out of hospital and had to sleep in a car in the car park. And then again, he had to have another heart operation. And then somebody decided outside that they would help him. And Jack stopped drinking and started to take his medication. And he's now got himself a home, he's back working, and he's really got back on his feet. Now, Jack had a friend who was in the same situation, not terribly well, and he hadn't any alcohol to top up his level and had a massive fit and died on the street. So in the 5 years I've been here, we have seen quite a lot die. In 1976 we were living in Northern Ireland. I was married to a Roman Catholic, and a Protestant organisation decided that they would murder my husband and made a mistake and actually murdered my younger brother. And within 2 weeks we moved to England because it was just too difficult to live there. I came to live on the Oxford Road in Reading, and during that time I just grew and developed and grew in my heart, and really can empathise with people whose hearts are full of sorrow. And sometimes your circumstances come upon you, you don't necessarily ask for them. And some of the guys and girls that come in here, you know, their pain, I can relate to that. If you're among a lot of needy people, it's very easy to live the Christian faith, because that's what your call is. Your call is to care for other people. Speak to people properly, respect them regardless of what they've got, and give them honour for just being human. It's a marvellous platform, both organisations, to outwork your faith, really. We've got about 80 volunteers out of the both organisations. Some are church-going people and some are not, and quite a lot here at Cerdic are older people who've retired and obviously want to give of their time, because you know they obviously see the guys as needing help, and a lot of the people just simply want to come. And a lot of people come and work in the kitchen because that's where you're handing food, and people love to feed other people. There's something really merciful about making food and giving it to somebody who comes in really hungry. And I think it's from that kind of thinking, you know, just to do good to other people. What I like to do is get up early in the morning, just sit with God It's what I call being intentional about a relationship with the living God. And I would sit on my sofa and I sit with him, just quiet, and I talk to him and he talks to me. And that I live out of there. The thing of it is, if you ask God who he truly is and get a bit of a grasp on the reality of Jesus, then you have so much to give, haven't you? You know, if you know God in your heart, I mean, it would be a crime not to share that with other people. Regardless of whether you have a story or not to tell, he's your story, isn't he? You know, he can change your life, or he can just enrich it. And I think that whatever, whoever you are, he brings such a luxury and a richness to your life that you share with those around. I'm hoping that for Cerdic particularly, that more and more organisations will use this centre. Because when you're homeless, you don't want to go to other places. But if we can get other organisations, you know, we have an optician who faithfully comes every 2 weeks and helps them with their eyes and their glasses. And we have nurses that come in regularly. To really build on that lots of different organisations will come and they will enrich the lives of people here at Cerdic. There isn't like little compartments that you put your life into, is there? If you declare Jesus by your mouth, then you must live it by your actions. So, you know, it's a whole package. We don't just preach at people without actually serving them and hoping to love them. It's a package that it goes together.